I'll be back in just a few moments as a part of the overall conversation to demonstrate some of the other incredible features that this Yealink system brings to me. And again, I'm Lance, Dr. Ford, hey you, I'll answer anything. We're keeping an eye on the chat, so please feel free to jump right in there with any questions that you might have as we go through the process, because we truly want this to be as interactive as possible. You know, if it were just a broadcast, honestly, the easiest thing to do would have been to send out a recording. But we want you all to feel like you're a part of what's going on here. Just so you know a little bit about the room setup, because I probably won't have time to share this with you once the San Jose team comes on. There are a couple of 85-inch monitors up here at the front where I see the person who would speak most recently. This one over here is where I would see a group of everyone who's coming to me, and you can see that I also have chat up there as well. There are also two 65-inch monitors at the back. Those two 65-inch monitors kind of mirror this. In the room, there are multiple Yealink devices. The one that's been following me for the last 5 or 6 minutes here, this is the UVC 86. It's a camera. And I've got another one over my shoulder that we'll be looking at as we go through this. I told you this was a live school, so there's the morning announcement looking for Janessa apparently to the high school office. So I have another 86 over my shoulder and have an 84 right there next to it. I just let you know a little secret here, because to me, I've installed probably in my tenure in education about 150 different rooms. And typically when I put a camera at a position in a room, I'm running an HDMI cable for video signal. I'm running some sort of control cable, maybe in the old days, a serial cable or a Visca cable. For those of you who've been around for a while, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm also running a power cable to those cameras. Here's the deal. In this Yealink room setup, there's only one Cat 6 cable running to that camera. It's providing the power, it is providing the control, and the video signal that you see me on right now. And again, just sort of as a reminder, as I stroll over here, I'm about 35 feet away from that. So that's how the video is coming to you. You may be asking yourself, all right, that's kind of cool. How's the audio getting there? Well, I've got the Yealink microphones in the ceiling. And guess what? Once again, those microphones are running via a Cat 6 cable. There's a single Cat 6 to the first one, and then they're daisy chained to the other two that are mounted up in the ceiling up there. And then last but not least, of course, it wouldn't be interactive if I couldn't hear anything. And my wife was doing author visits in here the other day. She's the gifted and talent coordinator here at the school. So she'll bring kids in. They do interviews of kids as a part of other people as a part of their video production class. So they have to be able to hear their remote participants. I don't know if you can see it or not, but underneath the monitor over my shoulder here, that little Yealink speaker is also powered via a single Cat 6 cable. I got to be transparent here. The whole process of deploying this room, what typically might have taken a day and a half, 5 or 6 different types of cables pulled to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different locations. All that went away with the Yealink deployment. The AV hub is there. Now, we'll talk more about this later, but right now, I think I've got my friends from San Jose here with us. Marella, can you hear me okay? It seems like they're coming online there. You can see their camera. Awesome. Yep, they're coming into the call. I'm looking at the chat, looking for any questions that you guys might have for me about this setup, because while I do actually teach classes, teach online as an adjunct professor as well for our regional college, as you can tell, I'm pretty heavily involved in the deployment of this technology too. Don't see anything over there in the chat right this second. Let me hit you with one more tidbit of information before San Jose joins us live here. Those cables, those single Cat 6 cables, are coming back to the AV hub from Yealink. And these are all tools that are available today. I'm not showing you anything that is, in beta or you can't attain. or you can't find out the price to. The 86s, the 84, the AV Hub, they are all currently available. And so having the power to literally pull that one Cat 6, plug it into the AV Hub, and then take that into, in this case, the ZVC unit from Yealink as a part of the actual Zoom room. Then I had the controller on the table. Guys, it came in like a box and a half, and I literally had it deployed in under 2 hours in a room 50 by 30. So, going to give one more shout out here to our friends at San Jose. There's Morella. Excellent. Let's see if we can hear you guys today.
Thank you so much, Lance, for walking us through a real world case scenario that you live in every single day.
Hi everyone, my name is Regan and I'm the sales engineer from Yealink. And today we have Marilla over here at the Zoom Experience Tour, and also we have Dr. Ford, the guy that is talking just now. They are the Zoom room specialists and they are expertise in this industry for very long. We are thrilled to have you here today with us to learn more about how Yealink and Zoom have partnered together to create a robust solutions for enterprises and businesses from all sizes to enhance their remote communication, the way they communicate together. And as everyone knows, the remote communication is now a very important stuff for everyone, no matter how big is the business or how small is the business. Whether you are working from home or working at the office, it is very essential for you to have a reliable solution for the remote communication. So today we are having the Yealink devices deployed in everywhere in this experience tour, and we are going to show you some real case scenario about the Yealink products and how Zoom works together, and also we are going to show you more about these products. So back to you, Marilla.
Thank you so much. Well, welcome everyone to San Jose, California, and we're going to be giving you this experience. Everything you're seeing today is ready to deploy today. And what we're showing you right out of the gate is a Zoom rooms running on a kiosk mode. What you see here is a Yealink A10 that's able to power that Zoom room. And as an end user, let's say, you know, a Zoom employee or just a guest onto our building here, we have the option to interact face to face. You see the orange icon, that's virtual receptionist. The other one is workspace reservation, which we'll demo in just a moment. So let's go ahead and select that virtual receptionist. Here, imagine the art of the possible. We've got full options to interact with Matter experts on the other end in just a matter of a click. So let's go ahead and reach out to our receptionist today. Well, hello there, Ed. How are you today?
Hi, Morella. Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, can we get started with this Yealink tour? Do you mind being our cameraman today?
As always, let's do it.
Let's do it. Now, of course, in that case scenario, we are here on our floor and Ed answered that call, but it could have very well been an employee for your organization located anywhere. We are supporting that hybrid model, right? These icons are fully customizable, so it could be a receptionist or IT concierge that could at any moment help troubleshoot any technical issues or just help your employees get on the secure Wi-Fi. All right, so what you just saw there, that is powered by Zoom Rooms, but you do have the option to get even more robust options with our integration with Contact Center. All right, so now let's back up just one screen, and here you see workspace reservations. This again is powered by the Zoom Room. It's the live status of all of our meeting spaces today. Meeting spaces, conference rooms, training rooms, even spaces that do not have any technology at all, such as this wellness room with a massage chair. You can just simply select and book for the duration of your preference. Now, what we're going to showcase next is hot desking. We are embracing hot desk here at Zoom, and for me to schedule a hot desk today, I just simply drag and drop the duration that I'm going to be here on campus. Very easy to actually make that reservation. I just simply go to my Zoom client. I scan that QR code. I don't actually have to input any account information about myself because I'm already signed on to my client, which of course has already authenticated me as a user. Now, everything that you see here on the kiosk, you're seeing real time. I can see all of my colleagues and their profile pictures that you can enable to have accessible. I also have the exact same feature available on the go from my mobile device or my Zoom client or the portal. As you see here, the exact same interaction. I can zoom in, I can zoom out, I can make all the reservations on the go. I can even filter. I can filter based on room occupancy, for instance, or I can search my colleagues. All of that is available, plus the option for you to also pull dashboard, reports, etc. It's great to know in advance who's going to be in the office next week, for instance, and if you're catering, you can prepare accordingly. All right, so that was Zoom Rooms powered on a kiosk mode for virtual receptionists and workspace reservations. And now I'm about to go inside of this large conference room, but before I do so, I wanted to just pause and highlight room scheduling, which is also included with the Zoom Rooms subscription. Now here it's powered by Yealink. As you see, it has an LED light built in, power over Ethernet. Regardless of the hardware that you choose here, it does integrate with Office 365, Exchange, and Google Calendar. We love the Yealink because it does have the LED built in. Very easy to install. As you see down the hall, it's very easy to see which rooms are available, which ones are occupied, which helps to reduce any double bookings or squatters from coming into the room and using that space when in reality someone already booked it, right? Now here, if I want to interact with the calendar, I can actually see what's going on for the day. You can upload your own image so you can customize that. I can also book directly from this view. I can just drag and drop that. I can also pull up that live interactive map that you saw earlier in Workspace Reservation. I can zoom in, zoom out. I can see who's in the office today. I can go ahead and just drag and drop the duration of this meeting that I'm trying to book and book directly from this view, right? So it's really great. I don't have to go back to my computer, etc. Also on the screen, I'm able to report an issue with the space. I can actually customize that message to make whoever is in charge of the space aware that there is an issue, etc. All right, again, room scheduling is included with your subscription and it integrates natively with Office 365, Exchange, and Google Calendar. All right, let's go ahead and come on in. Here in this large conference room, we easily seat 12 to 13 people. The size is about 14 by 26. And prior to the pandemic, we actually had this set up very similarly to how Dr. Ford was explaining. We had ceiling microphones, ceiling speakers, compute, etc., Cat5 cable to be able to support all of that. And as Dr. Ford mentioned, it took the room 1 to 2 perhaps days or more to set up that configuration. Now Yealink has made it so much more simple across the board, incredibly user-friendly, and the advancement in their technology really is quite impressive. Now here what we've got, again, in that element of scalability and simplicity, we are also showcasing the Yealink A30 for a solution in these larger conference rooms. Now this is an amazing technology. It has dual cameras, so you can actually get the view of the entire conference room with the panel camera and also the optical zoom camera. Now from an installation perspective, really there's no Cat5 cables needed or involved here whatsoever. All I need to do is simply connect it to the monitor, HDMI, power and network, and that's all that you need to do, nothing else. Now what we're actually going to do is join you from the Yealink A30, and what I've done here just while I was talking is I've paired my own mobile device to the room experience. So I have all of the controls available to me, including the ability to one click to join.
Recording in progress.
All right, so here what I've been able to do as well is have the full access of the control panel available to me at my fingertips. So as you saw, I was able to join the call. I can unmute, I can control my camera, I can chat. All of that is available to me from the convenience of my very own mobile device versus having to gravitate always to the seat to have the controls available to me, right? Gives me a lot more freedom and flexibility. Now here in this space, what I can also do is activate auto framing, which allows me to, as the end user, to move freely in the space. Dr. Ford already demonstrated this to you so elegantly in his space, right? He really does need a lot of movement. And in these boardrooms, sometimes you do as well. In fact, sometimes you need to get up and do a whiteboard session. What we've got here is Zoom Room does support whiteboard, and we've got a whiteboard companion option, which I can just simply tap to whiteboard to be in this experience collaborating. Our whiteboards are meant to be an infinite canvas, a perpetual space that we can continue to collaborate with our colleagues in or out of that Zoom session, right? Very helpful to have that available. You can choose between various different templates as well too, or you can have your very own. All right. Now, one other thing that also often happens in these conference rooms is another application. I'll go ahead and I'll stop sharing that. But is sometimes we are eating, right? How often is it that you're in a meeting and you are eating, or perhaps you're catering for that meeting and you've got tableware or the forks and knives and the plates? Notice that I'm talking to you while I am tapping on the table. This could even be a computer. And notice how Yealink has an amazing noise suppression technology that prevents you from hearing all of that distraction. I mean, no one else does it like they do. I find it very impressive. And it just, again, helps you to have an even more effective solution in your meeting spaces. All right, let's take you yet to another space. Welcome to here, our open collaboration space where we also highlight digital signage. Dr. Ford did mention this a little bit. I just want to elaborate on the fact that with digital signage here at Zoom, we like to showcase videos. We can also share content wirelessly. There's a sharing key that's located on the top right-hand corner of the screen. We can also stream any Zoom meetings to our digital signage. You can even tie it with our workspace reservations solution and show the live status of all of your meeting spaces. You can also integrate it with Zoom phones to show E911 procedures and protocols to make your employees, aware that there's an evacuation notice. So all of that is included with your Zoom Room subscription, and it's to scale. One single Zoom Room license, and you can deploy an infinite amount of digital signage across your organization. Here, what we've got supporting digital signage is the Yealink Roomcast. All right, now here we're going to showcase a couple of use case scenarios. One of them being a Microsoft Teams meeting, right? How often is it that you need to join other party platforms? So we've got actually shortcuts right here on the screen. We've got the shortcuts on for Google Meet, Microsoft Teams meeting, and Cisco WebEx. So if you want to join impromptu any of those meeting platforms, you simply put in the meeting code information, etc., and you can be on your way. Now here, what we are going to showcase you next is for those scheduled meetings. How do you get one click to join? Here it's very simple, and we're actually going to show you this just like with Dr. Ford. This is all happening live for you guys, right? So here we've got the client. This is a Teams client. You may be very familiar with it already. We're going to go ahead and join. Now we've invited the Zoom room here. So from the client, of course, they're not learning anything new. They're just proceeding with their day-to-day practices of doing a meeting, a Microsoft Teams meeting. And here, on a day-to-day basis, your employees don't really have a huge learning curve. All they need to do is come to
Not that one. Teams.
All they need to do is come to the Zoom meeting or find their meeting right here on the calendar and one click to join. Now, as you see here, leveraging direct guest join, you will notice that the shutter on the Yealink 820 is going to be open once we are in this session. You see the Microsoft Teams logo. Your users can just sit back and relax. There you go. Now we're in the meeting. That same level of efficiency is also supported for other platforms as well. All right. Now let's go ahead and show you here the power of the Yealink 820 and these open collaboration spaces. Let's go ahead and join the webinar. All right, we're leveraging here a webinar, which gives us a couple of other layers of protection to ensure that we join as a panelist, etc. But all very easy to do on the fly. Now, a couple of scenarios that we're going to highlight here in this demonstration. You see us right now in a day-to-day, this is the camera as is. What we're going to actually activate next is our ability to support multiple streams so you can actually see each one of our participants here in a much better view. Now, the camera's intelligence is actually picking all the individuals that are here present. Now you can see Ed, Regent, and myself, and we all are in this gallery view, really heavily providing that meeting equity and the democratization of that meeting experience through Smart Gallery. You also notice here that the Yealink does support subject boundary as well as acoustic shield. So if you are a participant in the back of the room, because of that subject boundary protection, those end users that are walking by or bystanders are not being broadcasted into that experience. Same goes for audio. So if Regent starts speaking.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I walk back right now and you can hear me. Yep.
Absolutely. So again, we're just trying to provide you with the very best experience for multiple spaces. And this, of course, works quite well in conference rooms where you're trying to once again address some of the acoustic challenges or perhaps sidebar conversations. Great. Very well. On this next demonstration, we are going to walk you through the check-in process for hot desking. You saw how simple it was for me to actually book a desk from our workspace reservations. And now here, what I have available to me is a Yealink phone. This is a Zoom phone appliance, which allows me to see the QR code that's present directly on the screen. Now, how do I check in? Very simple. I'm just going to simply scan the QR code. For options where you don't have a physical hardware, you can always revert to printing the QR code. The process will be very simple. Just go to your Zoom client. All right, so right below here, you've got the option to scan the QR code. And again, because you are already checked in to your client, the authentication process is minimalist here on the device itself. You can set up a PIN code in case you need to walk away, right? Or you can just set it up at another time. But here, as you can see, this is my phone for the duration of that reservation. It does take my profile. I have all of my meetings, my voicemails, my contacts, etc. Very powerful here of what we can do because of this amazing platform. I even have the option to transfer calls into Zoom rooms. I'm not sure if you've already experienced our switch feature where you can switch a call between your mobile device and your phone. You can even do that from your phone into the Zoom room experience. All right, in this next space here, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be walking into a training room. It's a little similar to what you saw with Dr. Ford. This space here seats quite a few individuals, and we are now going to be joining you from the Yealink board. All right.
Recording in
Now, welcome. What we're going to show you here is how we can also leverage these all-in-ones and very large spaces. We're going to go ahead and navigate here. I'm going to do similar to what Dr. Ford did, right? Show you the power of the built-in microphone and just how far you can extend the microphones on this solution. Now, again, this is the all-in-one board. So you've got the microphone array that's built across and the camera. I'm able to navigate this space very freely, address any concerns or questions that any of the individuals here have in person. And I can do all of that very freely without any hesitation whatsoever. I even have the ability to share content. So I can actually, on any Zoom rooms, I have the option to share content wirelessly. I can also share via a URL. So I can go to zoom.share.us for instances where you're not on the same network, right? You, of course, can still pass through HDMI if needed to. However, for ease of use and just low cost of ownership, you can always revert to sharing content wirelessly, which is what I am going to do now. Okay. Now on the client itself, I have the option to go to share screen. And on the top right-hand corner of the screen, there's a sharing key that I have available. Now, in many instances where you want to protect that, you do have the option to protect that as well too. Here it looks like we've got a protection selection for the webinar. So I'm actually have to put in all the credentials because this is a webinar format that I would need to share content. So on the fly here, on the go, but Dr. Ford can easily also share content wireless as well too, because ultimately we do want to give everyone the freedom and capability to be as collaborative as possible, right? All right. Also with the Zoom rooms, we have the option to enable Zoom phone. So you can actually make phone dials and calls from the Zoom platform. You can also take advantage of our whiteboards and or out of the Zoom meeting. So all of that is available to you as part of the Zoom platform. Right. Shall we take you to yet another place? Let's do it. All right, so we are going to be taking you next to our patient room of the future, where we actually, we also have this patient room here of the future that will enable us to be able to take our healthcare into a new level. I mean, this is pretty impressive what we can do with our Zoom room. Now we can meet with doctors and our friends and family when we are at the hospital. So let's go ahead and come into that instance. Now here I know that we've got a lot of hardware and equipment. What you see here, this is Johnny, who's a patient, right? Let's imagine he is recovering or just at the hospital. And here what we've got is the patient engagement platform where he has full access to his meals, TV programming. He can, see the schedule for the day, see his care, etc. But this is also powered with an Yealink 820, which does protect his privacy, right? Yealink is very unique and there's privacy shutters in their hardware, which is really great. Now here what's going to happen is, let's say that Johnny is expecting a call from one of his physicians that is doing their rounds, for instance. You'll see on the engagement platform here, we've got the option to, from the speaker pillow, to answer that call. So Johnny doesn't even have to learn any intricate technology. This is just all built in for easy end user experience. All right, so that's something that we have accessible to us. It's really great how we're evolving the technology, not only in the conference rooms, training rooms, huddle rooms, workspaces, etc., but also in these medical instances as well too. All right, Dr. Ford, so how are things coming along for you there on your side?
Hey, I am doing great. And I'm so glad, Marilla, that you went down to that patient room, because I've got to tell you guys that the power of the technology is that there are so many use cases. As I told you right up front, I mean, we're literally in a classroom here where I'm not wearing a wireless microphone or anything like that. And we're about 50 feet by 30 feet. But what if I had students in here? What if we need to all communicate? So kind of feel like we're just all in the room together. Well, one of the unique things that Yealink will allow me to do is to give you multiple camera angles from this classroom simultaneously. It's part of the power of the solution. So right now you see all three of my cameras coming to you at one time. One of those cameras is the one that's been following me as I've gone through the process. Another camera is coming from over my shoulder, and it's pointed back at my students here, because as they ask a question or raise their hand, that camera doesn't move as quickly as this camera, but it will find them and allow their remote peers to be able to see them. The third camera that you see is actually coming from right there. That is the 84, and it's pointed as a preset over here. I had a university I was working with, Marilla, yesterday that basically said, hey, Dr. Ford, we need to be able to have some presets on marker boards and stuff like that. Is that even possible with this solution? Absolutely. That's a part of the power of bringing these cameras together so that you feel like you're literally in the room with me, even though the room is 50 feet wide and a sum total of 30 feet deep. This process gives you that immersion, Marilla. And I think from my perspective, as I might be walking around looking at different student work, you may have a question for me, so I'll see you on the screen up here in front of me. As that's happening, the technology does what the technology does in that it gets out of the way and it lets me teach my class. At the end of the day, Marilla, I'm a music teacher, not a technologist. So the more we have to talk about technology and the less we actually get to use it, the worse my class experience is. The technology is the conduit for me now. Where in the past, many times, unfortunately, it's been the topic. You guys say, well, what does that even mean? You have no idea, Marilla, how many times I've been in class where people were like, hey, what are you saying, Dr. Ford? Hey, we can't hear you, Dr. Ford. Hey, we can't see so-and-so. Hey, Dr. Ford, are they doing? Listen, I don't want to have to deal with all that. I just want to teach my class. And that's the power of Yealink and Zoom here in my classroom environment.
I mean, Dr. Ford, I think you spoke to so many people instances, right? That's exactly what we're trying to address, that ease of use across the board. And the power of the Zoom room and the Yealink partnership is that you have a lot of these tools available to you in or out of the Zoom meeting. So you can actually have a whiteboard, for instance. You can collaborate very naturally. At any moment, you can elevate that into a Zoom meeting. If you want to share content wirelessly, you can do that in or out of the Zoom meeting. At the end of the day, no one wants to be monitoring these spaces, and I know at the end of the day, my job becomes very easy when I know that the hardware can sustain all of the solutions that Zoom has to offer. Thank you so much, Regent, for being here today.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on your end?
Yeah, so we actually very happy to be here together with the Zoom. So experienced persons, the Zoom room specialists, and we are actually partnered with Zoom for many video and phone projects. So we have done projects from segments like the enterprise, healthcare, and also the education segments, and many more. So really thank you, Marilla and Dr. Ford. And let's go to the Q&A session.
Absolutely. Do we have some Q&A, Lance?
I don't see anything right this second. I see that a lot of links have been shared as we've gone through this process so that you guys out there hopefully will be able to find more information about some of the hardware we've been talking about and some of the Zoom solutions. Aaron, I'm going to give a shout out to you because I see you and Eddie out there. Have there been any questions that you guys have seen come through? I've got the chat and the screen, just like I normally do in class. It's been scrolling, but I haven't seen any questions. Do you see anything out there, my friend?
Yeah, thank you so much, Lanford and Marilla region, for this impressive demo tool in the headquarters and in your classroom, right? So we have a quick question from our attendees. So they mentioned about that how they can easily to enable the smart gallery on Yealink and Zoom platform. So just this simple question.
So they
Absolutely. Marilla, do you want to take that, or you guys take it? Go for it.
He mentioned about how to enable the smart gallery on Yealink products.
Yes,
Is that
correct.
correct? All right. So when you join the meeting, and on the CTP18 controller, there is actually a camera control button which you press on it, and the smart gallery is also called multi-stream. So you just press on that, and just the smart gallery will just show up. Yeah.
And
Okay,
selfishly,
excellent.
Aaron, I'm gonna take a sidebar here because you know me. I'm the music teacher, so I get to do that and just claim it's because I'm a music teacher. Part of the power of what Zoom and Yealink are bringing to market together is an idea that's not just multi-stream, like you saw when Ed and Reg and Marilla were there a moment ago, not just multi-camera, like you saw a minute ago where I had 3 cameras on, but the collision of those 2 technologies, which is called Intelligent Director. And if you're interested in that, it's probably something we need to get you some an NDA signed or something like that, because we're still in beta on it. But man, we would love to show it to you, talk to you about it. You may find some things online about it already, but I know from our perspective, Marilla, Intelligent Director has the opportunity at least to be able to say, what is the best image, not just a image of the person in the room. And once again, it's about feeling like we're all in one room together.
Absolutely, Dr. Ford. The evolution in video is pretty impressive. And as Regin explained, it's built in as part of the Zoom experience. So you don't have to do anything on the administrative portal. You just simply go to your camera controls, and from there, you'll see the option for multi-stream.
Can I speak?
Yes.
Is this product available in India?
Is it available in India?
It's available in India, I believe. We have distributors across the world. So actually, you can just find a distributor, or you can just leave your information on the links that's being provided by our marketing team. So we can keep in contact with you and get you a distributor to get your stuffs. Yeah.
Can you note it down, please? principal@mmk.edu.in.
Chen or Aaron, please kindly help to record it down. Thank you.
Yeah, principal@mmk.edu.in.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great question. Any others?
I think we are good on the questions. Most of the questions we answer just in the chat box. And thank you for this great event you host, Marilla and Lanford. And I really appreciate all the attendees to join today's webinar. And definitely, if you have further questions, just feel free to reach out Zoom team and Yealink team, so we are together. Yeah.
If I can speak, if I'm allowed to speak, what is the total cost of the classroom which you're talking about?
That is a great question. So it really depends on how many cameras you decide to go with. This is one of those moments in time where I hate to just say a number, because my classroom is kind of, it's sort of unique from maybe your size of classroom. My classroom is 50 by 30. You may have a lecture hall that seats 100, 200 people. You may have a boardroom or a smaller classroom. I know next door I have a classroom that has 5 round tables. It's really a very collaborative space where students are working together in small groups, very similarly to what you see here. So it kind of varies classroom by classroom. I would love for my family from Yealink, Chin or Aaron, to get your contact information. And once we have that contact information, what we'll do is maybe schedule a time with you where we can look at some of your spaces and then decide exactly what hardware would go in there. Is that a fair response, Kishore?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, very well. Well, thank you very much for being with us today. We greatly enjoyed it, and do reach out to Yealink and or your Zoom account executive for more information. Thank you for your time. Any last words, Regent?
Yeah, I'm all good. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day.
Take care.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye.